Hello out there in Streamland. How's it going, folks? We are getting ready to do a little bit of D&D prepness using Fantasy Grounds Unity. I'm Sven. Welcome. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to start with a little bit of conversion from Fantasy Grounds Classic to Fantasy Grounds Unity. Making sure my sound is working. So it's sort of working in that it is. There we go. Alrighty, so we are live with. It's not Memorex, it is live. It is me. So, uh, what had happened was I took a campaign that's mostly homebrew and brought it from Classic to Unity. And when I did that, I'm able to export all the characters, and that's pretty much it. Um, if you have modules and things that you're using, so I did the same with the Starfinder campaign. Um, if you took like Out of the Abyss or Rise of the Dragons or any of these pre-made modules, you can use the pre-made modules in Unity as well as Classic. The difference is all the individualities that you did and the tweaks that you made to the campaign wouldn't transfer over. So to do that, what I've done is um, I've opened up both Classic on one side and my Unity on the other. So I have things like notes. So the individual character notes I've already transferred over. I made a note of deities. So the majority of so what I did was I made it to where I made a list for the characters, my players, of the common deities that people would know. And the reason I did that is because even as in today's society, I personally know something, I know Taoism exists, I know Buddhism exists, I know Judaism and Catholicism, Christianity, uh, Baptist, Mormon, um, Episcopalian, Protestant. I know all these different religions. I also know Muhammad and Buddha, Jesus, Joseph Smith. I know of these different people and deities that people have worshipped or do worship or revere, those type of things. It's just quote unquote general knowledge. Now, obviously, a priest, a pastor, a Buddhist monk would know more than I do as a layman, but um, even and I know more about certain particular ones than I do about other ones. The point being, in D&D, it should be the same, so people know and have a basic idea that Clangan, Clangadin is a dwarf deity. That's all they pretty much know. They've heard of Clangadin before, and they know that he's a dwarf deity. Um, um, whereas Helm, you see a lot more of, and so you know that it has to do with vigilance, protection, and a lot of guards, city watch, and bodyguards worship him. So the point is I have made this list of deities basic information that they should know, that they would know, the characters would know. And so this is here. It's in alphabetical order. So if they hear something or if I mention something, all they have to do is pop open the note and they can refer to this and it gives them an idea of what's going on. There we go. Boom. And so all I'm doing is I make a new note, open up the notes section, and I can look at the ones I have here. So like I have last session, I haven't been keeping that up. I'm actually going to just delete this because it's not true anymore. I've switched to using the calendar for my last session notes. See what's in miscellaneous. So that's just things that I made just as a temporary thing, just what it says. All right, so plots I do want to keep. This is what it sounds like. It is a list of plots that I have fed to the characters. Also their wants and desires that they've told me at one point or another. So we're going to create the new one. We're going to say plots. It could also be plot hooks, story ideas, pretty much anything along those lines. Go back to my old one, hit Control A. Come on. Oh, I had to open it first. Unlock it. Boom. Control A, Control C. The only thing is when I transfer things over like this, you just have to go through and delete the extra lines. I personally do. Again, you don't have to, but I'm CDO, which is OCD in alphabetical order. So I like it to look good, even though I'm the only one that's ever going to look at it. So some of these are already used. Some of them are just ideas that I had. But there we go. Boom. And then the other one, the other big one that I use is proper nouns. And there's the proper nouns that I share with them and the proper nouns that I share that I have my own proper nouns DM. Those are two big ones. Proper nouns. And this is public. Boink. Control A, Control C, Control V. So I'm actually going to do this the opposite way this time. I'm going to start at the top. So to make a chapter heading, when you're on the line, just hit Control 2. And that makes it bigger. Now, if you're wondering why the size difference in the text is because in this one I'm using a font, special font. This one I'm not. And I actually think I'm going to switch to that. So I'm going to do that right now. Leave. Turn on my font extension because I don't want to change my scale UI. You can change at the size of everything on your screen. Scale the user interface, scale UI. So when you hit load campaign, so if I go down here, there's a couple of them. So there, so we're going to go to, I have font Montserrat, which is what this is, or Roboto. So I'm going to use Roboto right now. I have a couple more, but I just grabbed those two right now. The theme I'm using is D&D official. So I'm going to switch over to wood. a wizard's desk, and then I'm going to turn off the color extension. Sword Coast, Player's Handbook, Decal, Chat, Turn-Based, looking at the different ones that I have. No, I changed my mind. I'm not going to go to the wizard's desk. I'm going to stick with D&D Official. Boom, I like that one a lot. All right, so now we start this one again. So this proper nouns has people that they meet. So pretty much any named character I try to throw in here, try to remember. Even things as minor as like Crooked Tooth, who was a goblin. They one of the first things that they did, they were still level 1 if I'm not mistaken. They found this goblin. These goblins, they killed all of them except for this one, and the half-orc picked him up and used him as a battering ram to get through a door. He had talked to them and told them his name and stuff. And then they also have things like Dane, who was the butcher's son in Jasper Moon, the city, and it has a link of a picture. So a lot of times there are links to, pictures linked in there. And there's, for example, Nature's Anger, who's an orc shaman. There's Naughty Giggle, who is a orc scout. Things like that. And then I have places. So same thing, map. No, I'm not gonna worry about opening the map, but I have different maps linked within here. This is all accessible because it's public by my players. So if they're opening up, they can open up proper noun and say, oh yeah, what was that about? If I mention Westfall Tower or the Westfall Ruins, they can open this up. Oh yeah, that's right. That's where we found Raken, and it's to the east of Jasper Moon, the city. And then the actual characters, I have who plays them, their name, a little bit about their background, things like that. So that's what proper nouns is. Now the difference between proper nouns and proper nouns DM are things like if it's a similar setup. I have people, places, and the PCs, but the difference is I have a lot more information for about what they are and what they do, and I have more names. So, Vethazarios is an ancient necromancer who made the Draco Lich and wrote the book. They don't have that in theirs. They don't know anything about it. Same thing here. I do have links to pictures. That is an ancient druid who is now a tree. So yes, that was a picture of a person. Stuff like that. So that brings us to this note. We will go ahead and proper nouns, DM. Unlock it, make a Control Alpha, Control Charlie, Control Victor, boom, boom, boom. So now you can see, we can actually see what's in here because of the font that I'm using. You go all the way up to the top, boom, Control 2, makes it a thing, Control A, Control B, Control A. I can't tell if this is a thing or not. I don't remember if they do. If this will let you do, it does, okay. All right, weird. I'm not sure why this is all bold. I don't think, is it supposed to be bold? Guess so. Maybe that's what Roboto does. I don't remember, guys. Anyway, so let's do this quick. Boom. What I do is I have, hey Atomic, how's it going? Hope your stream went well today. What happened to the rest? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm just updating from the old Fantasy Grounds to the newer Fantasy Grounds, showing people how to update their information. If they, like me, decide to switch from the traditional Fantasy Grounds to Fantasy Grounds Unity. I'm going to be doing a little bit of Magic the Gathering later today, probably as a filler, or I might be switching back to my solo campaign. Oh, and Atomic, if you're still there, thanks a lot. It's all, I blame you. I am now getting back into Gems of War. As I mentioned on your stream yesterday, I played it solid for almost 2 years, maybe a year and a half or so. But I was up playing it daily to at least get the daily login bonuses at the time. Um, I'm up to 149, I think it is. No idea what I'm doing. They had just switched over to where, because back in the day when I was first started playing, they didn't have all the countries and stuff. So they had started that, and I've taken over, and I have a capital, and I have several different countries that are level 10s and things. I have a lot of different areas that are level 1s, but I don't know what any of that means. I do know I have an income. I have a crap ton of money. I don't have any badges though, or trophies, so that must be something new since I stopped. I stopped playing probably 2 years ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago is when I stopped playing. So it's been a while. But I opened it up once when I got a new phone, and I was like, man, there's just too much stuff. I don't remember this, and I just went on to something else. But I'm decided to stick with it. I messed around with it. Um, I'm trying to find the campaign you are on because I missed the first part of your show, so it's your stream. So I'm not sure how you got to that point where you were going through the storyline and talking to that dude back and forth. I did find, clicked on one of the countries, and there's each individual area has its own campaign. So I've been going through one of the countries for there, but getting back into it. It's a great game. I loved it. I like Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest. Hope you have fun anyway. Yep. Oh, I do. Like I said, it's a great game. I enjoy it. So, um, didn't realize it was on Switch, but I use my phone more than I do my Switch. So, I'm just gonna keep with it on the phone, at least for now. You're up to level 247. You might be up to 48 or 49 now, but so I'm 100 levels or so behind you. But I got a really good. I have several teams. My player's name is Moist. I went through a phase where every game I went to, I used Moist as my character name. So my team's called the Towelettes because it's Moist Towelettes. And they're mostly dragons, so they have different, like a dragon soldier, a couple dragon eggs. I have one dragon egg that changes into a random dragon when it hatches. So it hatches. So that's cool. I like him a lot because I like randomness. So it's neat every fight I'm doing. He's one of the top. He's my second person, so he comes in, and so usually pretty fast, within 3 or 4 turns, he hatches into some dragon, and it's random every time. So it's pretty cool. I'm having fun. I don't know what any of my other teams are like yet, but Got me sucked back into Gems of War. So thank you. I appreciate that. It's looking forward to get back into it and figuring out what I'm doing, and so I can excel. Maybe one day catch up to where you are. All right, so getting back to a little bit of fantasy grounds here. So that's the concept, folks. Just copy and paste from before, bring it over, tweak it if you need to. The other thing is the images. So that's what the other second thing I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go ahead and close this down, bring back up my player notes because actually the proper nouns. I appreciate that I could be a proper influencer. That's right, Atomic. And by the way, folks, if you're watching this on YouTube, check out Atomic Hero Squad. It's the word atomic underscore hero squad, all one word. He streams Monday through Friday in the mornings. So it's a great way to start your day. Check him out. He does lots of different games. It's not just the same thing every time. And he is amazing at all of them, which is really surprised me the more I watch him. He crushes it at the racing game he plays. He does Smite. He does Paladins. He's done Gems of War, which I was just talking about. And as I was looking at some of his past streams, seems like he's doing different games almost every day. So uh, nice variety. Um, and he's one of those awesome people who actually interact with his stream. It's really annoying, I've found, when I watch streamers and they don't interact. It's like, why even bother having a chat if you're not going to interact with people? But check him out, Atomic Hero Squad, uh, every morning. Um, he's usually, I know he starts at 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning on Eastern time, and no, I'm sorry, 8:30 in the morning Eastern time, 5:30 in the morning my time, uh, when I watch him. So check him out. I think you will not regret it. And make sure to give him a follow, even if you don't like him. Follow him anyway. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm going back into my proper nouns, and everywhere there's an asterisk, that means there's a picture that should be here. So I'm going to be somewhat selective just because I have a crap ton of pictures and things. But for example, Cloveray, they are going to interact with again. And if I pull up my proper nouns from my old school fantasy grounds, you can see what the picture actually looks like. Boom. So here she is. This is Cloveray. So she's the Arc Druid of the Grasslands Enclave. So they are going to be interacting with her again. I do want to have that picture available. One, so the players can find it and refer back to it whenever they want to. And two, because I want to have it for when she interacts with them again. So what you have to do is go to. I'm gonna verify for sure that I don't have this already. So let's see. So she's listed as a Firbolg Druid is the name of the file. Firbolg, search all of your assets. Boom. So here's these. What is this? I don't even remember this one. Interesting. Never seen a green skin Firbolg. They're usually, although she is, I guess. All right, so nope, she's not here. Let me double check Druid just to make sure. Whoa, 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 folks, what happened? All right, boom, enter. I must have hit a button. Lots of Druid pics, but none of them are her. Well, I didn't realize I had anywhere near this number of Druid pics. What is this? Okay, that's an interesting Druid. I like this one, that's cool. Cool. All right, so lots of neat pictures, things I didn't know I had. It's a shepherd druid. Let's see, a little wolf pups there. But despite having all these different people and these different pictures, old school black and white, very cool. I don't have this one, and that was the goal of that. So open up my files in my computer. I can just go to Fantasy Grounds. I'm half tempted just to copy them all. So let's see. I have a couple different places I throw my pictures and I pull them from. So if I go to campaigns, well, first of all, uh, tokens and portraits are here in your main campaign file. So if I go to campaigns, each individual campaign has its own pictures. So I'm pulling from Wednesdays, and you can go to images, boom. So this is, you can see I have a crap ton of pictures. That I've used over the years. Skimming through these, so there are some maps that I won't use. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these. And then I think I'm just going to copy the whole thing and just put it all into my new Fantasy Grounds. There we go. Just getting rid of some of these other peak shores. I'm pretty sure I already have SC close, but let's do change the name to delete. So SC close delete if it's already there. All right, so what I'm going to do then is just Control A, boom. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some more of these. A lot of maps in here that I don't need in. I do need that one. I'm not going to be using again, so just getting rid of some of these. Save me some room on my computer, you know what I'm saying? All right, there we go. Deleting all this, boom. So now I can just hit Control A to select everything here, jump over to my new SmiteWorks, Fancy Grounds Unity is where all that is, and I now have a choice because the images wasn't in the old one. I can just throw it in and make them all available to all of my Fancy Grounds. I'm going to do that because that way I don't have to pull them into each campaign. All right, so everybody hold your breath because see if we can get this to work. Control V. All right, maybe it's not working. So open this up in a new instance. Go to my campaigns. Move. Do I want to move them or do I want to copy them? I'm going to move them because one, I don't see me using Classic anymore, and two, if I do, I can just pull them from this new location. And that way I don't have them twice taking up all the room on my computer. They're just moved. So here we go. Bam. All right, so this one is laboratory. Replace the file in the destination. No, I'm just going to skip it. Boom. Okay. So there we are. So now it's just a matter of going back through. So what you do in the new Fantasy Grounds Unity, you click on Assets to bring up Refresh Folder Assets, and it'll show you in the chat, Folder Assets refreshed. So now all those images are now available. If we go into Data, they're all there. Or what you can do is search. So I want Furbolg. Oops, that's probably going to come up with a lot of different things. So should have been a little bit more specific. I'm actually going to put the whole thing in there. There it is. Boom. Makes life a lot simpler, you know? Open her up. Create the image from the record. And there she is in all her glory. So we don't need the old school Fantasy Grounds right now for what we're doing. So we're just going to full page this so we can see a little bit more of what's happening. So now you see Clover A. You can then pull this over, a little dragon head. Let go. Boom, now it has a link. So now we close and we can just go click and there she is. And we will, because it's public, the players can also do that too. All right, so now let's see Dane. Dane's a cute little kid. All right, so now I just need to remember what he was called. So remember how I said we don't need the old Fantasy Grounds? I moved it. Okay, so I did hose myself a little bit because if I didn't name it, if I changed the name, so now I just need to find him. Trying to remember what he was called. This is an image. I think it has to do with a child. Nope. Is he a boy? There he is. So that's our Dane. He's the blacksmith's son, and my characters love him, which was the whole point. Unbeknownst to them, they're gonna find out tomorrow, actually. Him and his whole village have been taken by the Drow, and are being taken down to the underworld, so they're gonna have to go rescue him, or they don't have to, but I'm sure they're going to. He and his father and them. So we're going to open this up, put the name as Dane. So what's happening is, because this is identified, it's now showing them the full name. So if I make it unidentified, the unidentified name they see is Dane. So that's what you want to do. So by changing the unidentified name and making it unidentified, then now when they see it, it'll come across as Dane. Boom. All right, so some of these, like this one, it's not that important. Let's see, I think he was called, I think I called him a fat elf. Let's see. Oh, there he is. Boom. So his name is Itrion. Wood singer. Yeah, this guy runs a arena, a gladiatorial arena in one of the cities, and he's a merchant. And so while slavery was and is illegal, he had rescued a minotaur when the minotaur was little, and so had trained him to be a fighter in the arena, and pretty much the Minotaur works for him and is not allowed to leave until he pays his debt. But every time he fights, every time he gets healed, every meal he eats, the merchant tracks and charges him for. So he's been working for him for like 5 years. And while technically not a slave legally, he's a slave because he'll never earn enough with what he's paid. He's always paid just a little less than what he uses up. He's treated fairly well, but he wasn't allowed to leave. So the characters broke him out and helped him leave the city. So he's definitely going to be coming into play again. Exactly, those corporate loopholes, Atomic says. And so that what they did with the Minotaur is they were the friends with an orc tribe. So they brought him to the orc tribe, and the Stone Fist tribe, and the Minotaur is now part of the Stone Fist orc tribe and is living with them and is a guard and scout for the Orc Fist Stone tribe right now. And he's reasonably happy. He enjoys his life there. He's a powerful person. He is a fighter barbarian, and his build as a fighter is a brute, so he does extra damage with every time he hits. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and make this a I have a spammer in the chat. You know you're making your mark in the world of Twitch when spammers take the time to spam your channel. All right, so I've got the proper nouns public for them. So let's go ahead and add a couple more of these. Again, I've sort of changed how I do this show a little bit. Yeah, Tommy says, hi, bot, how you doing? I used to, I want to do all of these. So I used to spend, my hour doing all these pictures and stuff. But my point is I just want you all to know how to do it so you can do it yourself if you ever need to. I'm not going to inundate you with doing this over and over and over. So I'll do a couple more. So I find the asset, the picture. Here's Gwent, current storyteller in the city of Concord. Found the picture. And then boom. So this one I don't really have to rename, although it's a tiny picture, buddy. It's probably just his portrait for his token. Boom, there we go. So if you click this, it says toggle toolbar. That opens up this little tiny toolbar here, and you can then click this, which is zoom to fit. So I made this the picture the size I wanted, and then click the zoom to fit to make it bigger. There he is. CQ just means Conquered Quest. So I'll go ahead and change it just because. Boom. And then we take and we drop it over here. Boof. So now they have a link to his picture. Hef was the Minotaur gladiator that I was talking about. Kiet. He's now dead. So I don't really care. They don't need a picture of him. He's not coming back. Although this is Dungeons and Dragons, so just because they kill him once does not mean he's never coming back. But in this particular case, he's not coming back. All right, so Marlon Brady is the constable of Concord. And there he is. Ta-da. Open it up. Create the image. Again, he's tiny. I think it might just be because this is taking up so much room. Drop it down. Boom. Rename him. His name is Marlon Brady. These are not names I came up with, by the way. Anything that you see with the CQ, this is a pre-written. Pretty cool about these bullets, which are these large armadillo-esque creatures, but with huge, sort of like, they're also called land sharks, but it doesn't look nothing like sharks. They're more these huge house-size creatures that can burrow under the ground, called bullets. And this city had their annual festival, and this mother had given birth to her bullet kids outside the town, about a mile or two away. This traveling caravan was coming to the festival, and the mom attacked the caravan and took them to feed her babies. And the group had to go, and they found a couple of the babies, and then found the mother. They made some cool stuff from the hide and the body of the mother and the babies. And by babies, I mean they are the size of Brahma bulls. These huge, 8-foot long babies. So they're not cute little defenseless things, no. Think of Tremors, the movie Tremors. They're very almost like those type of ugly-looking critters. So killing those type of babies is not that big a deal. All right, Mass. I don't know what he is or what I named him before. I don't know if he's listed as Mass. He's not. Okay. Is he a merchant? See what I get when I just say human. Okay. I've slept and eaten since I saw this guy too. I don't remember exactly what he looks like, but it's not any of these guys. All right, so I'm not going to worry about that. What is this? Oh, okay. My mind was not seeing that. One of those. What are they called? Naughty Giggle. No, her I do know. She's an orc. I don't know what they're if she's listed as the name of the thing is thing. Let's see, Naughty. Oh, there she is. Yep, that's the actual name. Boom. There you go. So she's an orc scout from the Stonefist tribe, part of that the aforementioned Minotaur is now a group a member of. All right, so that is how you link within the notes. So now my characters can jump in there, go into the notes, can pull up if I mention Naughty Giggle and they're like, what is it? Well, who is Naughty Giggle or Cloveray or Datris? They can see what I say and then they can also pull up the link of the picture and remind themselves. So I'll be going in and filling the rest of those in after a while. Let's see, I have been streaming for dun dun dun. Let's see. So I've got about another 10, 15 minutes. So we need to set up an encounter. So what had happened was they were in my group was at a cave. They had come, they rescued this druid, finished killing the bad guy who had, they think they haven't because he escaped. But anyway, they rescued the druid and now they were coming back home. On the way, this goblin freak snuck in and stole the barbarian's big axe. He has a magic bracelet that allows it to shrink down to a tiny little axe, almost like the size of a charm that goes onto the bracelet. So he was asleep, so the goblin took the bracelet and the axe that was on the bracelet, ran away. So when they woke up, the barbarian chased down followed the tracks, followed them into this underground place. And for all intents and purposes, this is where they were. All they had done was they had went through this first. I'll open it up for you guys so you can see it. They came in and they found him. They found the axe in this room, and then they found the little critter in this room. Defeated him as he was running away. He threw the bracelet back, so they got what they came for. But they hadn't searched down here, and they hadn't searched through these doors across the lava to here. And they don't even know any of this is here. And the main sort of unofficial leader of the group, his name is Tusk. He's the barbarian who brought them down here to get his stuff back. He was all intent. He's of a completionist, sort of like I am. He wanted to finish searching the rest of this place. Well, he happened that particular player wasn't here last time we played. So the rest of the group was like, screw this. We don't need to do this. We're going to leave. So they left. The week prior, they were all like, okay, we're going to finish searching this place. So I had everything done. You can actually look at a couple of my videos and you see how I prepared these fights and had everything ready for them to finish doing that. And that was going to take most of the night because they had 3 fights to do, 4 fights, and that's plenty of time for the 3 hours that we play in. But they left. So I was like scrambling and saying, oh crap. So I had to come up with this. I came up with a fight, with an encounter, because they are now walking back through the Sword Coast, waiting for my combat tracker to come up so I can pull up the map. And while I had a lot of encounters going up to where they were, I'm only going to have 1 more when they come back down. Oh, I broke Fantasy Grounds. All right, so here we go. So let's get this. So if you open up any character or NPC, see if it's going to make me a liar. There we go. And you double click on their token on their character sheet. It opens up the map they're on. That's true for characters, so PCs can also do that. So if your players, like I closed the map by accident, can you share me the map? If they just double click on their token, it'll open up the map. The token is on. So this is the fight they're in. This is a light source. Somebody cast the light spell on a stone and threw it over there. All right. Speaking of witches, let me see. This, by the way, was wrong. So I'm going to fix this because it's a 15-foot cube, not a 15-foot radius spell. Is what I thought it was. So I'm going to check my assets. I should have spell templates. Let's see. Fantasy Grounds Unity has an art subscription you can subscribe to. It gives you a monthly theme. So like this background, the way it looks with the fancy dragon head over here, and how these things look to the side. The theme for all of the Fantasy Grounds, here it is, Fantasy Grounds spell templates. Decorations, generic, spell components, brushes, and then I have the spell tokens where I pulled this from. Anyway, so you get a theme every month, and then you also get a bunch of extra stuff throughout the month. Usually almost every week you get more art packs. And you can buy all those things individually, or like I do is I'm subscribed to the art subscription. The downside is if I ever stop paying for the monthly subscription, I actually paid for a full year, but I don't have access to any of the stuff from that subscription if I stop paying for it. If I buy it outright, then I have access to that forever. Anyway, we have all these new spell templates. So I'm looking, so these are cool because they're white. And you're like, why does that matter? Because I can then make them any color I want in Fantasy Grounds Unity. So let's go to these are the brushes, decorations, generic templates, spell components. I think decorations is the one I want. Let's see. So there's like the spell light itself, which is what I'm looking for, has a artwork that it did. There we go. See, sunburst, circle of death, dun, 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 globe of invulnerability, lightning bolt. So some of the spells have actual artwork for them. So you can see they're pretty well done. I don't see a light spell, so let me go search for light. It's like an Xbox Live or PSN. You can get free games, but only if you continue the subscription. That's correct, Atomic. Yep. Light. Nope, it's not there. Okay, so we'll go to templates. Oh, I need to get rid of the word light. So the reason there's brushes is there are certain spells that are walls. So like Wall of Thorns, Wall of Fire, and you can shape them. So you think of a wall, you think of a straight wall. Well, with these spells, because it's magic, you can shape them. So I can go down 10 feet, over 10 feet, down. I can make this weird shape and box in a creature or something if I wanted to with my Wall of Fire and anything, or I can just, make a steps look like steps, or anyway, the point is you can shape them. That's what the brushes do, is you can then use the fire and draw the shape of the spell. So it's really cool. Um, I'm just going to use this sunburst. Well, this is 60 feet. So let's go to generic templates and see. I need a 20-foot radius spell. Nice. Okay, so I need a 15-foot radius spell. So what I can do is just take this 20-foot radius spell. Let's see which one I want. I think I want this one. Slap it down here. So it looks like it's built to come from the center of the square. Nope, it's not. All right, so I go here. Actually, let me Control Z. So what you do is you open this up. You go to I'm going to add it to. I'll just make a new painting layer. Add a painting layer. I'm going to say I'm just going to call it what it is. The light spell. Got it as a stamp. So now I'm going to put it down here and then move it once I'm done. So the reason I did it this way, folks, is because it's a layer. Oops. I go to the light spell. I go to this template. Oops. Layer. There we go. Boom. And I can now adjust it. So go here. We go to the color picker. Boom. So it's a light spell. So it's casting light. And you're like, dude, you can't see anything. It's so bright. You're right. So let's turn it down. Boom. So now we've got it lighter. We've got it, of course, not taking it. You don't see it as bad. And then, okay. So it's 9 by 8. So now we're just going to make my map a little bit better so I can see it. And we're going to move this. Actually, move the whole thing. Okay, boom. I want to get back to this. So it's supposed to be, actually it is 20 feet. Now that I think about it, light spell is 20 feet. No, it's 30 feet. It is 30 feet. All right, so I need it to be another square out on each side. So we'll take it from the corner and we'll just, come on. Stretch it out one more square all around. Boom. So now it should be 6 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Now we just need to move the whole thing over. we hold down Control, and we can slide it up. Boom. All right, and it's just a tiny smidge too tall. All right, well, that's close enough. So now I get rid of this. And let me just double check, because that looks so big. Let me just double check our spells real quick. Oops, it would help if I spelled it correctly. So after all that work, I was wrong. It's 20 feet. It was 20 feet. So the object says bright light in 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet. Okay, so I don't care about the dim light per se, but that's the cool thing about this is, so first of all, we're just gonna, here's the 20-foot light radius. Bye-bye. Take our, and we're also gonna go to the play section. So this is a token. And you see what happens when you select a token. I'm just going to kill this. Open up our line of sight so we can see. Go to our assets. Go to our light spell layer. Go into our spells. Oops. Go to all. Go to light. Spell. So back to our 20-foot radius, which is what it should have been. Or I should have just left it the way it was. Throw that in my thing here. Do the tile. So it's a stamp. Again, I'm just going to stamp it down here to start off with. Boom. Change the color. Oh, hold on a second. Cancel. Go to select, click him. I should have changed the color first, but now that I got him selected, it'll now change him. Bring down the opacity down to, I'm gonna make it really dim because what I'm now going to do to show you guys, oops. So we put him where it was, boom. So that's 20 feet of dim light. And then we're gonna double this. So that'll be 16.7, because 0.2 and 18. So there's going to be 18. I'm going to go back to the stamp. Make this 18. Oh, there we go. Perfect. It did change it. So now we're going to go here to the color picker. Make it yellow. Bring down the opacity quite a bit. So this guy is twice the size of this one, because that's what the spell does. So we're going to start with it down here. Boom. Go to selection. And now we move him up. Put it right on top. Boom. So now you've got 40 feet of bright light, of dim light, and 20 feet of low light. Okay. And then what I can do is I can then make a folder, new folder. Call this light spells. And we take this, throw it into the folder. Take this, throw it into the folder. This is just trash because I never actually did anything with that. So what I can do now is I can turn this off and on. Poof. See? Pretty cool. So now we have where the dim light is and where the bright light is. I'm very happy. I'm also going to put, there's a 15-foot square. This is an illusion. So I'm going to go to the play mode to get rid of this first. Play. Get rid of this token. This is a, there we go. I want this gone. So we're going to go. Remove this. Thank you. So they have this spike, and when they drive it into the ground or into anything, it creates this 15-foot cube of an illusion to help blend in wherever they are. So anybody outside that 15-foot cube sees something else, and it lets them sleep and hide and do rest and do things like that. So I'm going to start with, so go back to my layers, and we're going to put in a, let's see which template I want to use this time. It is exactly a 15-foot cube. So we're going to start with a 20-foot square. I think I'm going to use this one this time just because, oh, here we go. I'll use this one. It's cooler looking. Throw it in there. I'm going to change the colors to like a blue, like a magical duck blind. Exactly. Yep. A magical duck blind. I like that a lot. And I'm going to turn this down. Change the color. Bring the blue a little bit much. Let's make it a little bit lighter. There we go. Turn this down. So it's a 20-foot square. We want it to be a 15-foot square. So again, we're just going to move it down here. We've got our tile. We say OK. We go click. There we go. So now we'll center it. And fingers crossed, we should, in theory, be able just to shrink this down to a 15-foot square. Let's see. Is it maintaining its aspect ratio? It is. Okay, so that makes it a little bit difficult. There should be a way. Let's see if I hold Alt. Shift. Nope. All right, so there we go. So now we have our 15-foot cube. We will then slap it. I'm going to make it a little bit more opaque. Less opaque. I've got the wrong one. There we go. Layer selection. Cancel. So we select him. We got our layer selection picked, and now we can bring him down, make him a little bit more transparent. That's what I was trying to say. Boom. So now you can see through it because we're moving him back to where it was. Boom. So they were here. They were covering up the fire was the main point. Is to hide the fire. My fire got moved. Boo. Oops, I don't want to mess with that. Where is, I'm going to lock this so can't move the light spells around anymore. My fire, here it is. My fire got moved. There we go. So for some reason my fire got moved, so we're gonna go to our fire effect. I must have moved the map, the whole map somewhere, but that's okay. We'll just, there we go, there's our fire. So it's wiggling and moving. Anyway, getting back to our 20-foot square, we go to our layers, select, boom, putting him, so he was on the fire is what the point. This 15-foot duck blind, magical duck blind, I like it a lot. I'm going to use it, use that term. It was covering the fire, so we're just going to stick it. The fire is in a weird place, so we're just going to put it here. Centered on these squares, boom. Actually, Krek was asleep, so I'm going to actually just put it, let's see, boom. Move it here. So that covers the fire, it covers where Krek was sleeping. And everybody's happy. All right, so now we've got our spells. You can see where they are, but they don't block everything from sight. We can now lock everything. Lock. Go to the play mode. Boom. So now we're back in play action. So it's much better than it was before. You can see where the bright light of the light spell is. You can see where the dim light of the light spell is. You can see where the fire is. And it's all with these new spell templates that Fantasy Grounds came out with. Very cool. Now that I've been playing with them and stuff too, I'm getting more and more used to these type of things, and I can add these on the fly, make it nice and easy for me to do that type of stuff. So, well, thank you so much for hanging out. Atomic, I'm going to be switching over to Magic the Gathering. I need to get another stream under my belt. Somebody once told me that updating up to, hey Claudia, how you doing? Nice to see you. So Atomic, this is Claudia. Claudia, this is Atomic. Just got reintroduced to Claudia a few days ago. She also does a lot of different weird games. She was doing a cooking simulator yesterday with this pizza, making pizzas and stuff. Very involved. Not my personally game, but she was great at it and she was having a lot of fun. She's fun to watch. She has these little animations that show up on the bottom of your screen when you type and chat with her, interact with her. So she's cool. Check her out. It's Claudia, Claudia, normal spelling, 1836. Check her out. Follow her. And same thing with Atomic Hero Squad. Mentioned him earlier. It's Atomic_Hero Squad. Check him out. Follow them both, whether you like them or not. And check them out. I'm going to be jumping on to fans. And what I was saying was somebody told me that if you upload to YouTube every day consistently, then it makes the world better and everybody loves you more. So I'm now this is day 22 in a row that I've been uploading to YouTube every day. So, but I don't stream every day. I stream like 3 times on Wednesday, and then there are a couple days of the week that I don't stream at all. So I need to have a couple extra streams in my repertoire so I can upload on my days, the days I missed. And what messed everything up was my Sunday night stream, my live play of Starfinder fell through technically. And I had problems, technical issues. It wasn't streaming. The stream software I was using died and something. So I was very frustrated. But the point is, I then didn't have anything to upload yesterday, so I'm a day behind. Anyway, it's an all up and down game. Just don't make it feel like a job. Have fun. The biggest advice, have fun with it. Absolutely. Claudia is absolutely right. So even though I have a lot more work to do here in Fantasy Grounds, I'm going to switch over to Magic the Gathering. Um, so if you guys want to stick around, give me like 5 minutes, and I'm going to end this stream, switch over to Magic the Gathering, and so I can have something else going on. But hey, those of you on YouTube, like, subscribe. If you want to see how this plays out, I'm going to be streaming this game on Wednesday night at 6:30. We go for 3 hours, so 6:30 to 9:30. Barring technical issues, so sometimes I'm a little late getting rolling, but come check it out, and you can always check it out on YouTube. This particular campaign is called Sven Nashkel Homebrew, Sven's own Nashkel Homebrew. So you can see how this encounter finishes with these giants. They had giant centipedes fight, and these spiders came and attacked the centipedes, but now the centipedes are dead, so the spiders are now turning their attention to them. They're going to find out why there are these large creatures. It's actually some small little magical pool of grossness that's turning any insects and things that come to it into these giant creatures. They're going to come across a couple ants, and if they don't follow up on it, there's going to be a lot of ants. So that'll be fun. Check it out. But whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.